So this is a male African lion, of course, scratching his ear, and the thing that has to happen is some finish work. So I'm adding some varnish to sort of seal things up, as well as some color on the nose to just brighten up the nose color a little bit because it's darkened a little bit more. Every lion kind of has its own distinctive pattern. It's almost like a fingerprint, the nose color. You can see it's not all one color. People used to think, oh, they're all the sort of brick red or something like that, but they're not. They're sort of mottled with a sort of brick pinkish slight color and then black intermixed in. And so and this has been, they've dried now at this point for more than a month. So they're completely dry. There's not going to be any shrinkage, and it's a matter of touching up. And then the last thing I'm going to do is add a little more varnish over the eyelids and inside of the nostrils so they have a little bit of a wet look. These have already been groomed, meaning and cleaned and treated with a hair conditioner so that they'll stay, the fur will stay kind of bright looking. Here we are getting them in place. Philip and my volunteer Hannah helping me, and so we're setting the male in place first because he's going back in the back corner, where as you move to the left side of the group you're going to see him. And so I'm just kind of adjusting for sight lines and making sure that he's making eye contact with the viewer who walks to the left side. So now I'm adding the female grooming, and I'm laying her out so she's going to go in the gap where you're going to be able to look through and see her past the other females that are in the front, the 4 females lined up in the front. We removed the female on her back to install the 2 new ones, and now we're putting her back in. And I'm just kind of checking positions and making sure and cleaning up. I've got to put grass back in place. That's the cub that just went in that dates from the 1940s. So the 2 cubs are the oldest 2 in the group, the female on the far right and the male walking in the slot in the rocks. Those date from the 1960s, done by George Adams, a sculpting taxidermist who was here for many years, 23 years. And then the 2 grooming or head greeting females in the front, those we put in last year with the help of my volunteers, including Daniel Meng. And then this year, of course, I'm adding the grooming female and the ear scratching male. And so cat's doing cat stuff. That was the whole point of trying to do this diorama and make a pride, really, so that the females were the dominant visual element, but the males are there, and as you walk past the diorama, of course, you see them. I'm Tim Bovard, taxidermist, Natural History Museum.